Yeah. We are back. We are back. We are back with another episode of the No Box Sports Podcast, brought to you by No Box Entertainment. Yes, this is episode number 20. Because now we got plenty of championships. And in case you didn't know, I'm your host, one of your hosts, Uncle Doug.
And I'm the original CP3.
The original CP3. You better not ever forget it, man. And speaking of things we never gonna forget, man, the Eagles.
Yes, sir.
The Philadelphia Eagles, we coming off winning another Lombardi Trophy. Your 2024-25 Eagles are officially the NFL Super Bowl champions. Let's hear it for them, y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, man, that's just like a beautiful, beautiful feeling. This is something we was anticipating saying for the longest, something we was hoping we'll be able to say for the longest. And on the field, man, this past Sunday, when it come to teams, we was the strongest, man. Our Philadelphia Eagles absolutely rolled the defending Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs, man. A dominating victory, man. How you feeling? You still on that high?
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready for tomorrow. So yes, I'm definitely on the high. I'm definitely hyped, definitely excited. Still in some ways, I'm still pinching myself a little bit like, yo, it actually happened.
Is it real?
I mean, it's not as surprising as the first Super Bowl win, you know what I'm saying, in regards to like pinching yourself where you was like, yeah, you know, but because of the dominance, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
Still, it's like, man, it's just, you know, to know your team's gonna win, to not only have the confidence, however, to be vindicated or validated by them actually doing it.
Beautiful feeling, man. Beautiful feeling. Man. It ain't too many feelings like this in the world, honestly. And when you look at the screen and you look at that title, it says the Philadelphia Eagles dominated the Kansas City Chiefs. When you look at that final score, it say 40-22, but the game was not that close. The game was not that close at all, man. We started off the game, the first quarter. Well, remember way back in the day, early in the season when they said we couldn't score in the first quarter. You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. They used to be a big issue for
a long time ago.
100% right. Yo, they used to make a big deal about the media or make the national, the local. Why can't we score in the first quarter? It needs to be fixed and stuff like that. Well, they fixed it.
They fixed it, and they fixed it well. We put up 7 points in the first quarter. We had a long drive. You know, they had 0 points in the first quarter. But the second quarter is where we really exploded and scored 17 points in the second quarter, man. Yeah. We just came out dominating. And yes, we put up 24 points in the first half. But to me, the more impressive number is that 0, man. That 0 you see up there for the Kansas City Chiefs, because nobody in their right mind expected the Philadelphia Eagles to shut out the Kansas City Chiefs the whole first half, man. What you think about the defense, man? Like, the defense ain't come to play around, man. They really look like the number one defense this past Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, like, I told you that was the thing. People kept talking about, well, you know, this defense is going to, you know, they never played Patrick Mahomes. And, you know, they got to worry about Patrick Mahomes, the greatest quarterback in the game. They got to worry. But I was like, you know what? He got to worry about the number one defense in the game.
You was saying that. That was really your energy.
And that's what I'm saying. It felt so good to actually get, you know, supported by their actions. You know what I'm saying? To actually have that confidence and your team back it up with their actions. Just like you get an interception, you get a sack, you get a sack. It's like, yo, the bull was running around,
spinning around. Sacks by the defense, man. 6 sacks by the defense.
crazy.
And I seen the crazy stat. We didn't even blitz him.
That was wild. That was wild. It was reminiscent of 2017. 2017, we kind of had some of that pressure against Brady like that. It was like, yo, like that's the one thing that's similar to that championship versus 2017 is that we brought the pressure with the defensive line and we had different guys doing it. You know what I'm saying? You had Milton Williams doing it. You had Sweat doing it. You know what I mean? Like just different guys just bringing the pressure. And Mahomes just did not know what to do.
He didn't know what to do, man. He didn't know what to do at all, man. It was crazy, man. We never seen a Patrick Mahomes flustered like that. And to just break it down, we can easily say we held him to 0, but we got to break it down, man. Our defense did not blitz this guy one time. That means our defensive line was on fire.
Yes.
Josh Sweat, for one, stepped up major this game. I think Josh Sweat had 2 sacks this game, if I'm not mistaken.
I think 2.5 actually. Yes.
Josh Sweat, man, there was a whole lot of that going on, a whole lot of this going on, and we got to talk about Milton Williams. I don't think he was on anybody's bingo card to have 2 sacks this Super Bowl Sunday either. But Milton Williams
and a fumble,
one of the biggest plays of the game.
A fumble,
the strip sack fumble on Patrick Mahomes when he was trying to launch it downfield, which really put them more and more in the hole. Man, shout out to Milton Williams. We got to go and shout out this defense, man. Everybody that was balling. Jordan Davis. Another sack by Jordan Davis in the Super Bowl. Somebody we were very, very critical of early in his career for his conditioning. Man, it looks like he's coming on in a major, major way. Another sack in the Super Bowl. I think he had a sack in the NFC Championship game. And I think we coming up to the point to where we actually can extend him. And, you know, really get the middle of our defense just solidified, man, how we got some decisions to make. But shout out to Jordan Davis, Zach Bond, you know.
Yeah, because of the blitzing, he was able to get that interception. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, because of the non-blitzing, he was able to get that interception. Because of the pressure that they put on Mahomes on that play where he got the pick, like Mahomes had to get rid of it. He had Josh Sweat in his face. And he had to get rid of that ball, and he got rid of it to the wrong guy. But if you bring in that blitz, there's nobody there to get that pick. But because they didn't have to blitz, you got that pressure, and Zach Bond right there, Johnny on the spot.
Did you see that diving athletic interception by Zach Bond?
For a linebacker?
Yeah, and that was a crucial part of the game. That was going into the halftime where, you know, we're dominating. Yes, it's 17-0.
Yes,
dominating, but Patrick Mahomes can go down, score 1 touchdown, cut it to 2 possessions, and kind of make it a game the second half. And Zach Bond with the crazy diving interception right before halftime, man. That was one of the plays of the year from an all-pro linebacker that was playing special teams last year down there in New Orleans. He came back on that field and showed out in a major way, man. Our defense was scooping. Quinyon Mitchell, 3 tackles. He ain't really give up nothing. I mean, honestly,
he made a play or two, right? A big play or two, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But in regards to passing the ball, you didn't really hear his name or Slay's name because Mahomes couldn't get it to him. Couldn't get it to him.
It wasn't many passes to contest. It was unusual what this defense was doing. They were getting pressure with 4. And they were locking down, playing man defense with help over the middle and the top, man.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City, I know we got them reevaluating their whole roster after that defensive domination, man. That was one of the best defensive performance I've ever seen in the Super Bowl, considering the opponent.
Yeah.
I know you had Tampa Bay dominate the Oakland Raiders. You had your 2000 Baltimore Ravens who dominated in a different capacity. But as far as facing the best quarterback in the league, having him look like a developmental project, throwing interceptions.
Hold on. You know what? We were just as bad as a lot of the media. I didn't hear nobody. It's like we had like blinders on or whatever, because I don't think we brought it up either in the last show.
Uh-huh.
But this wasn't the first time Mahomes looked inept. Tampa Bay did it. Tampa Bay did it to him. That other loss he had was Tampa Bay made him look kind of like they I think they only scored 9 points in that Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was 9 points, but that was that was maybe 4 years ago. That was early in his career, where we thought he was going to be guy, and he was on his way to being the guy. But this Patrick Mahomes, we ain't seen him look like this in the last 3 years. Like not even on the regular season tip. So this was different, man. I don't think nobody's seen us winning in this fashion, but we continue to shout out the defense. Shout out to Zach Bond. Shout out to my guy, Cooper DeJean, man, with one of the biggest plays of the year. Now, I don't know, man, when you put all the plays of the year on the table, you go back to the Jalen Carter punch-out fumble versus the Rams. You go back to the Saquon backwards hurdle. You go back to that Cincinnati game where Jalen Hurts dropped that dime to Devontae Smith. Jalen Hurts dropped another dime to Devontae Smith in this Super Bowl, which can qualify as one of the plays of the year. But that Cooper DeJean play, where he intercepted Mahomes, and not only intercepted him, took it to the house. The first ever white cornerback in NFL history to start for a team made the biggest play, one of the biggest plays of the Super Bowl, man.
Yeah, man.
We got 3 or 4 plays that we can honestly look at and say, this might have been the biggest play, man. We got some playmakers on our team, man. And
when I should have thought it was over, I just realized I should have thought it was over when Milton Williams got that fumble. Because last time we won the Super Bowl was off a big key fumble off the best player, best quarterback in the game. That's how we won our first Super Bowl. And this one, so maybe anytime we get a forced fumble in the recovery, you might as well call that. That's it. That's our game right there. That's it. That's probably a win for the Eagles, more than likely. It seems like that's the case.
Shout out to the whole defense. Jalen Carter, believe it or not, ain't have no tackles. But when you look at the game, they were doubling him crazy. They just like they wanted to stop Saquon on the offensive end. They wanted to stop Jalen Carter on the defensive end. He still
got one of the best picks in the game, though. Him mushing Mahomes in the face.
He did stop Mahomes. He
got one of the best picks.
A smooth 2-piece. Boom! They done
used that Joan in so many memes already, man.
Just for good measure, man. Our defense was hooping, bro. Our defense was hooping heavy. Salute to the whole defensive unit. Shout out to Jalen Hunt too. He had a sack in there. That guy been coming on towards the end of the season. I think we might have stole another draft pick. Not many people talking about Jalen Hunt.
Right.
He was a steal of a draft pick last year. Came on strong towards the end, wearing number 58 like Trent Cole, and it looked like he's gonna be a player right in time when BG retire and stepping right in. And we got to go ahead and check on Josh Huff, see what he did. Let me find him.
You talking about Bryce Huff?
Bryce Huff, yeah.
No, did he even play? I don't
think he
played.
That.
Come on, hey, come on, man.
I just had to check on him. We was checking on him.
He's okay. He got a ring.
Salute to him. You definitely got that ring, my boy. You stole that bread from us, but it ain't hurt us. We were so deep. Salute to Howie, man.
He got a ring.
The defense, man. Bottom line, one of the most dominating defensive performances. I can't think of Eagles defense that really got in a big game like this and dominated on that level, man.
That's the thing. Like people talk about the Bears dominating the Patriots. I'm pretty sure. I mean, we could ask the football historians, but I don't think Eason was considered the same level as Mahomes. I believe that was the quarterback for the Patriots back then, 85. You could talk about the Broncos losing to the Seahawks. You know what I'm saying? Like you could talk about those, but
you did mention that, and I was like, no, it ain't gonna look like that. That's crazy because Peyton Manning was like cooked. I'm like, no, that's disrespectful. But honestly, it was reminiscent to that, man. Only reason we didn't think it was over because we got trauma as Eagles fans, and it was Patrick Mahomes on the other side, and we're not going to celebrate too early. But honestly, it ended up 40-22. But at one point in this game, the score was 34-0. 34-0. So when I say dominate, that is not hyperbole talk, man. We really dominated these guys, man. And most of Philadelphia and Eagles fans was able to celebrate the whole fourth quarter because I was saying at halftime, if you give up a 24-point lead, you don't deserve to win a Super Bowl. Then when it went to 34, I'm like, you're not giving up 34 points in the first quarter. That would be wild. And honestly, the Super Bowl party I was hosting, along with a few other people, we just start partying. We was just dancing, playing the music, just going around. It just was a great. It turned into a party, man.
Yeah, man.
I expected to sweat, like literally.
See, that's because y'all wasn't. We just wasn't sure about that. People just didn't realize how dominant this defense was. Like you knew they was good, but it's like, but they the Eagles, like you said earlier. You know, we get that like, you know, we the Eagles. And it's like we just gotta start. This win hopefully has propelled not only the Eagles to feeling like, okay, they can do back to back, but as fans, more and more confidence that we walking like this. We're not walking scared no more.
Conor McGregor walk. It's a new era of Eagles football for sure, man. I feel like we crossing over, and we're going to touch on that. But let's go to the offensive side of the ball because this was domination by both sides. Let's go ahead and start with Jalen Hurts, man. 17 for 22. You know, very efficient, very, very efficient. I mean, like he's really been all year, just efficient. 221 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air, 1 interception. I said he could have 1 interception. As long as he being aggressive and, you know, he got rid of the ball when it was a blitz. He threw it up. He came down with it. The interception ain't help us. It was like a deep punt, honestly. Saquon Barkley, you know, 25 carries for 57 yards, 2.3 yards a carry. So everybody that bet the over on Saquon, you were sick. You were sick. But honestly, man, what did we expect them to try to do? Anybody with half a brain knew they was going to come in and not let Saquon beat them. But we didn't expect them to succeed like this and still get rumbled, but pummeled like this. That was wild. But Saquon, a real modest game. He didn't get into the end zone. Hurts had 11 carries for 72 yards and 1 touchdown. 72, that's one of the best numbers ever. So once you land on 72, it's just going to be a great day. 72 yards, rushing in the touchdown. So he kind of picked up the slack a little. Gainwell had 10 yards rushing. Devontae Smith leading receiver, 4 receptions, 69 yards, 1 touchdown. One of the best, prettiest passes. One of the plays that's going to go down in Super Bowl glory for the Eagles. AJ Brown, 3 receptions, 43 yards, a touchdown. Jahan Dotson, 2 receptions, 42 yards. We thought he scored in the beginning, but he was down short, and Jalen Hurts did the push in there. Saquon Barkley, 6 receptions, 40 yards. So stopped on the ground, but he still contribute.
That one catch, man, had me nervous. Like I thought he was going to drop it again.
When he was juggling.
Yeah, guy.
Now remember how the season started with the Saquon drop.
So you know, it was definitely reminiscent of that Atlanta game, man. When you know, but hey, man, everything.
They was hooping, man. The offense put it together. They
really did. They really did.
Goddard, 2 receptions, 27 yards. You know, did his thing. Patrick Mahomes, 21 for 32, 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 2 of those touchdowns was garbage time touchdowns when we was playing prevent. And they just trying to throw it up there and score. Nobody on their team had over 30 yards rushing, which was one of my keys. Don't let them run the ball. Their leading receiver wound up being Xavier Worthy, and it was really garbage time stuff. Travis Kelce, only 4 receptions, 39 yards, man. An absolute domination, both sides of the ball. But the Eagles, man, Saquon. I mean, a lot of people pick Saquon to be the Super Bowl MVP, man. What does this say about this team for Saquon Barkley to be held under 60 yards on the ground and we win in this type of fashion, man? What does it say?
I mean, it's what Jalen was saying in the Pittsburgh after the Pittsburgh game. Mm-hmm. That's what y'all want, you know. This what y'all want. You know, it's like he showed that we can, if we need to, we can pass the ball. People because he wasn't, you know, lighting up the scoreboard or you know, or lighting up the stats, you know, passing wise, that you know he can't do it. Like, yo, he can do it. We got one of the best, if not the best, running back in the game. Why am I going to shortchange him so I can shine? Like, it's a team game. If I need to pass, I will. In this game, he needed to pass. Jalen Hurts had to play well.
Yeah,
like this wasn't a thing. Sorry, I don't want to talk, but it's like Saquon was pretty much bottled up. You just gave it 25 for 50. That's not great. No. I don't know what the average is, but that ain't great.
Not
25 for 57, you said?
25 for 57 yards. Y'all.
That ain't great.
Yeah, 2.3 a carry.
So how much? I'm sorry.
2.3 a carry.
You know what I mean? That's not if Jalen Hurts does not step up and make the throws that he has to make and run the ball when he needs to, we don't win that game.
Yeah. So you saying Hurts just showed that Hurts just showed that he basically is just as important. And he can get the job done. So you ready to go all in on Jalen Hurts? I ain't gonna take it there just yet, but we're gonna get there. But to me, this dominating win without Saquon Barkley being a major contributor just tells me that this literally might be, shall I say, the greatest Eagles team ever. I mean, bro, I know people want to give Hurts all the shine, and he played the great game. Mm-hmm. Not taking nothing away from Hurts, but the defense, Hurts, the O-line, the coaching, from top to bottom, they came out ready to play. Mm-hmm. The uniforms looked as crispy as they ever looked. We barely got any penalties. This was literally, you barely seen Hurts get touched in the pocket. I don't even know if he got sacked. If he did, it's not really sticking in my head like that.
He got one, but it was I think we got a penalty, so it didn't. The one sack I think that happened was we had a penalty. It was a penalty on defense, so we ended up still moving the ball. So yeah,
O-line played amazing. We didn't send one blitz, and we got 6 sacks. We got 2 interceptions and 1 fumble. We got 3 turnovers from this defense. Didn't give up anything on special teams. This team was really great from top to bottom, and that is not hyperbole at all. This team was great from top to bottom, and I seen a stat earlier, man. This Eagles team, they scored 145 points in the postseason. That is an NFL record. That's not. What more can you say about that? That means no team has ever put out offensively what the Eagles have put out offensively during this postseason run. Mm-hmm. And we talk about the defense a whole lot. So it's literally both sides of the ball, coaching, shall I say, team morale. Where was the weakness at on this team this year?
I don't. It's a great question. See, I get really hesitant sometimes with questions like these because, a lot of times we become prisoner in the moments. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you ask that question, you know what I'm saying? So I get real, but honestly, when I think about it, you want to talk about the 04 Super Bowl team, they only had the one great receiver on that squad. We had 2. Mm-hmm. They had I feel like Goddard is better than the tight ends that we had on that squad. Chad Lewis and LJ Smith, I think, was on that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We talked about this too on episode 8.
I feel like we got a better quarter. I mean, Ron Jaworski is a legend. I get it, but I feel like we got a better quarterback because of what Jalen can do.
No disrespect to Jaws.
No disrespect at all. I'm just like, it's just talking like it's because of what he can do. I'm not saying he had a better arm than Jaworski. I'm just saying of what. Again, you cannot knock the fact that Jalen, that dual threat is part of what makes him so great.
Yeah.
You could argue. I don't know. I'm pretty sure people may say Saquon's better than Wilbur Montgomery. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't want to get
maybe.
Maybe. You know what I'm saying? And what's the other? So you're talking about this team was better, definitely better than 2022. Is it better than 2017? Again, the receivers are better than 2017. Definitely. Alshon Jeffrey is not even close to AJ Brown. I'm sorry.
Let's not start disrespecting our players like that. I had on the Alshon jersey on Super Bowl Sunday too. A Super Bowl winning receiver came over here, put up great numbers with Carson Wentz from the Bears. He was a very similar receiver to AJ Brown when you want to talk about playing style, but AJ might get the edge slightly.
Might. Okay, whatever. All right, that's fine. That's fair. Might. But again, who was the other receiver on that 2017? There's nobody that's better than Devontae Smith.
Torrey Smith.
Yeah, he ain't better than Devontae Smith.
Well, go ahead and answer the question then, bro. Stop beating around the bush.
I say all
It's the best Eagles team ever.
And when I say all to say, I guess when I look at all those different factors just on the offense, I got to say, yes, you're right. I got to say this is the greatest Eagles team ever. Which one is better?
This is the greatest Eagles team ever. We had the same discussion, episode 18, if you want to go back and watch. And the main two teams we put on the block was 2004 and this team right now. And we couldn't really give the edge to this team because they hadn't finished. Seeing how this team finished, number one, the numbers don't lie. This is the best record in Eagles history, 14-3. The most wins in franchise history. So that's check. The most points ever in the postseason. That's the most dominant offense ever in the postseason Eagles history. Check. We just had one of the most dominating defensive performances throughout the playoffs and in the Super Bowl versus who people wanted to say is the greatest quarterback ever if they would have won this game. So check. I mean, best rushing output, most consistent team throughout the whole season, the most consistent cast of characters. Everywhere you look, you cannot find a weakness on this team, even if you wanted to. And the weakest part of our team isn't even the weakest. You could maybe say linebackers because we lost Dean, but it wasn't much of a drop off after Dean got hurt, man. This team was deep, and this team dominated the whole way through.
The weakest part is is debatable. The kicking team, the kicking game.
The kicking game. Well, you want to go there.
That might be the weakest part.
And just to put that in perspective, J.E. just scored 17 points in the Super Bowl. That's the most by any kicker in NFL history. So any way you want to slice it, this was a team for the history books. And they closed the door on the debate, I feel like, emphatically. That 2004 team did not get it done at the end of the day. So you can't really, when they sitting in the room, they sitting at the big table. Greatest Eagles team ever, man. Let's give it up for the greatest Eagles team ever, man. We got a chance to watch the greatest Eagles team ever, man. That is crazy, bro.
Yes.
Team
I
ever.
Agree. I agree.
Led by, if it was the greatest Eagles team ever and there was no weakness, man, then I guess it's safe to say that I guess you gotta say, or do you gotta say, was Sirianni the greatest Eagles coach ever now?
Oh, see that I do feel like that's, I mean, he's gone there, he's gone to Super Bowl twice. So you can go that. But this going to the Super Bowl twice, Trump going to a conference championship 4 times in a row and a Super Bowl, like which trumps? Does the 2 Super Bowls trump the conference championship appearances? That's the part that gets me like, you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing.
I could say Sirianni has the highest winning percentage of any Eagles head coach the first 4 years of their career. That's what I could say. Okay. He has never missed the playoffs his whole career. He has went to 2 Super Bowls. He has won 1 Super Bowl. I could say he has had the best 5-year stretch of any Eagles coach ever. I can say that. I don't know if I feel comfortable saying he's the greatest Eagles head coach ever. I don't. It takes sustained excellence over a period of time, but I'm also one that values getting it done over everything, you know, and he was close to getting it done twice. He got it done once already. The person who would go head to head with him didn't get it done. And he couldn't get us over the top. So does that take away from his greatness? All things got to align. Your players got to be healthy. They got to be gamers. They got to have heart in those situations. The script got to be right. So I don't know. It's like if somebody wanted to say it, what can you really say to him?
I can't argue with if you're gonna say got there twice in Super Bowl and won one. I can't argue with that. That alone is sort of a trump over Andy Reid. But again, I feel like there's other factors because to me, honestly, it's either Andy Reid or Nick Sirianni. Like Doug Peterson won that Super Bowl. Okay, yes, thank you, Doug, for winning our first Super Bowl. But he's not in the same.
Doug crumbled in the end, and he got fired. So Doug, you don't qualify. You definitely a great footnote in Eagles history. You will be in history books for the first head coach, and you was probably up there until Sirianni came and won this bowl. You did have something to say at the table, but now
it's like
Sirianni slamming the trump card at the table. With him, Reed, and Peterson sit at the table. I mean, can't nobody really pop there like Sirianni gonna be able to at this moment. And honestly, he might not be done. So I don't have a problem if somebody want to say it. Me, Andy Reid was a coach from 99 to about what? 2012, 11-ish.
2011, yeah, 2000. It might be 2011 because 2010 he still got him to the playoffs with Mike Vick, and I think 2011 is when it was really bad.
I
think Chip Kelly started in 2012.
As far as win percentage, I know we was in top 3 along with the Patriots and I don't know who was that other team, maybe the Ravens. But I know he was top 3, consistently a threat to win a championship. Usher did many different eras of quarterback. So I don't know. So if somebody want to argue Andy Reid for longevity, I don't have a problem with that. I can't disrespect that answer. And I can't disrespect the Sirianni answer either. I can't call it now. I wouldn't be able to push all my chips in and say he the greatest right now. I will say this is the greatest stretch of coaching we have seen in the last 5 years by far in Eagles history. So I will say that, I
got you.
So I can say that. But shout out to our coach Nick Sirianni getting it done, patching the holes and leading this team to a championship and forever stitching his name in the history books. And some would say maybe I'm down there in Canton, but Super Bowl MVP, man, we got to talk about that because we both predicted Super Bowl MVP. We both was wrong. I think you said Saquon. I think I said Jalen Carter. But in Hurts fashion, man, it seemed like he stepped up, delivers again on the biggest stage. Emphasis on the biggest stage. Emphasis on again. Was rewarded your Super Bowl MVP, man, and it's getting to the point to where you can say all he does is win. Because 17 for 22, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air, 1 interception, 72 yards rushing, 1 touchdown on the ground, man. So this is 2 Super Bowls in a row where he outplayed the best quarterback in the league.
That's that right there. That right there.
They put a similar stat up over the first 4 years of a career. He's standing and looking Pat Mahomes right in the eye with Super Bowl appearances and Super Bowl wins and victories. So I'm not saying the same caliber talent-wise, but when it comes to winning, man, this guy Jalen Hurts, man, how do you feel about your quarterback, seeing him step on the biggest stage and get it done? Were you surprised? Is this what you was expecting? Is you more confident in him now, or it's part of the course for you?
So I can't say surprised because I felt like he did some of that in the Washington game, and the fact that so it's more like I have more confidence now in him moving forward. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, like you said before, the first Super Bowl appearance against the Chiefs, he looked great. The only blemish was that fumble. You know what I'm saying? People debate whether that fumble was what partly lost us the game. People debate that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, yeah, we lost, but he looked great. But in this game, he had the interception like you mentioned earlier. But other than that, he looked great. He made the plays that you had to make. He had that one play where he got hurried. They blitzed. The Chiefs got desperate. They did almost like an all-out blitz, and he had to get the ball away, and he couldn't get it to AJ. But then got that ball back by Zach Bond, and they said, "All right, AJ, we got you. We got you. You ain't got to pull the book out. We got you." And they gave him the touchdown. And so it's like, in the past, like he just he just does, like you said, what it takes to win. And
Just
at
wins,
this point, man, win the Super Bowl with him again next year. I'm expecting him to do the same great stuff.
Yeah, man. I think Jalen Hurts has reached a point in his career where people cannot let the doubt be stronger than the belief. Because what he is producing game by game, season by season is winning. You're not always going to win the championship. It's crazy to even think that as an Eagles fan. But for you to legitimately know that your quarterback has a shot every year to get to the biggest game because of how he plays and play his best in the biggest game, I think Jalen Hurts has reached that part in his career to where people just need to start believing more than they doubt, honestly. And it's not based off flashy talent. It's not. Even though he can do everything you need him to be done on the football field, he's not to the point to where he does everything good or where he mastered the game. He's a master manipulator of the defense, can make crazy. It's not really that way. It's just like, my lunch pail is here. You need me to go ahead and get us out of hole? I'm going to get us out of hole. You need me to go ahead and run for 100? I'm going to run for 100. You need me to pass for 300? I'll get it done, even though I might throw a pick or two. You know, I'm going to give my team the best chance to win. And the reason I'm saying this because this has been on the biggest stages. And I've been very, very, very critical of Jalen Hurts. But the thing I value the most as an Eagles fan my whole life is a quarterback that gets in those biggest moments and delivers. And I haven't seen a quarterback do it like Hurts consistently. I haven't seen it. And even though I don't like the way he plays from the pocket all the time, I don't like the way he holds the ball all the time, I can't argue with the results, man. I just can't. I'm past the point to where I can be critical at the level that I have been in the past with Jalen Hurts.
Understand this. This bull picked up even more responsibility. If you remember the beginning of the season, there was the discussion about the fact that, Jason Kelce retired, and they were saying that Jason Kelce was the one that was calling the line plays and stuff like that. Now Jalen had to do it. So that's the other part about this. All the stuff that he did, he also was on it in regards to protections, in regards to the audibles and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he not only took that, he said, I got it, and he won us a freaking Super Bowl.
He answers the call repeatedly. And the times where he hasn't answered the call, and I'm saying times where he hasn't been able to win the biggest game. He was in the Super Bowl, crazy holding call at the end. Chiefs win. We went to Tampa Bay, lost twice. One year, AJ Brown was hurt. Our team was falling apart. And then that first year, he lost to Brady and Brady and them went on to win the Super Bowl. So his history ain't a mystery, The history and the mystery when it comes to Jalen Hurts, man. This guy is going to stand tall on the biggest of stages, and I just want to put the ultimate salute on Jalen Hurts. But I'm not one of these people that go overboard and act like it's all Hurts. Hurts is one of the pieces of our team, probably one of the most important pieces of our team, and I think his composure, the way he approaches the game, is great for a team. With Hurts, I've always said this: it's his intangibles as a whole that makes a great quarterback. I gotta say, at this point, it doesn't look the way you want it to look, and I'm over that. I need a marathon.
Are you? You sure?
Yeah, I am now. I am now. I now watch this youngin step on the biggest stage in the world and not be phased, not even want to celebrate till up 34-0. Like, I want somebody like that leading my troops. I'm just
right.
McNabb might have looked a little better. Foles might have aired it out, had a bigger arm, was a little bit more accurate. But when it comes to a winning game, I always say if I had to pick one quarterback in Eagles history in the biggest game, I'm picking Foles. because how I seen his nerves be unshakable and deliver in the biggest stage.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's another quarterback has entered the chat, and that's Jalen Hurts.
So you're ready to say Jalen Hurts is what I'm hearing you say? It sounds like is that Jalen Hurts is now the greatest Eagles quarterback in Eagles history. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing you say that Jalen Hurts is the greatest quarterback in Eagles history. That's what I'm hearing. That's what it sounds like.
See, this is where we go a little bit too far, because I know in football, the quarterback gets the glory and he gets the criticism, and Jalen Hurts has got his fair share of both. And right now, he's on the glory side. But when you say the greatest quarterback in Eagles history, he's only been the Eagles quarterback for 4 years. 4 years. Okay. So I can't say you the greatest quarterback in Eagles history. That is me shortchanging. If we didn't have a quarterback that went and had a longevity, great run, and put up some numbers, passing and winning wise, he definitely has the best winning percentage at this. And the only quarterback that you can really hold next to him at this point is Donovan McNabb.
Yeah.
When it comes to who I trust more, it's not even a question who I trust more, Jalen Hurts or Donovan McNabb. Because I was over McNabb so maybe halfway through his career. I just didn't feel like McNabb was going to get it done, and he never did. This guy, Jalen Hurts, I don't like the way it looks all the time. I can't lie. I feel like we should look a little bit better than we do offensively at times, but greatest record in Eagles history, most dominant offense in postseason history. So I will say that I trust him just as much as I trust any quarterback in Eagles history. I can't go greatest quarterback in Eagles history. I can't do that yet. I can't, because honestly,
too early.
It's too early, man. And he has a ways to go. He's not in his prime yet. That's the scary thing.
Right.
If we want to assume he keep getting better at reading defenses and letting the ball go and making passes, he might mess around and get in the Mahomes area to where they talking about him like that if he's not in his prime yet.
Right.
So I think we can revisit this in maybe 2-3 years. But right now, I can't give that to him. This was a great team. I just said this was the greatest team in the Eagles history, which means everybody did their thing, and Hurts did his thing as well. But I can't boost his quarterback acumen up in Eagles history based off how great this team was. But
I got you.
Salute to him.
I got you.
How about you, though? Is he the...
I mean, I feel like
honestly,
I feel it's the same. It's almost the same as what you said about Sirianni. It's like the longevity is the tough part. It might be too early, but if we just talking about Super Bowl wins and winning percentage, it sounds to me like if you're just going by numbers and stuff like that, it's probably Jalen Hurts. But again, you want to talk about longevity. And you want to talk about the fact that Donovan did not have the receivers that Jalen Hurts had. I can hear that argument about, maybe it's Donovan. He definitely had a better looking arm, Donovan did, than Jalen. But right now, I'm gonna say Jalen, man. And honestly, it's also because I think he's gonna do the same thing next year. You look at the records, and I know but you look at the records, man. This guy, like you said before, in the short span of 4 or 5 years, he's had, other than that first year when we lost to Tampa Bay, the first, he's had a great winning percentage, a great run of wins. You know what I'm saying? And then this team a lot of guys are coming back, and this guy, and as you said before, he's a great winner. Even when we had the collapse, we started out 10-1. Yeah. For whatever reason, we lost like 5 straight games, but it's like we started out 10 and freaking 1. Yeah. So I think he's going to do the same thing next year, and that's going to really break the debate open.
Yeah. The type of confidence he's installing in our fan base right now is wild. Him and this whole team, man. It's like we're getting to a point that we're expecting. We're not hoping anymore. But you said, he could become the best quarterback in Eagles franchise history in just a year or two, honestly, in your book.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's like you said, it's probably too early to tell right now because of you just need more years. Just I'm not gonna start up another, but it's like Yeah, I think it's just you just need some more years.
People giving Hurt some high praise, man. I mean, they starting certain conversations early now, man.
They have, and I'm wondering if it was too early, to be honest with you. But and I kind of feel like it is, because I feel like, okay, he just won the one Super Bowl. You got to do a lot more to be in the Hall of Fame. But but he definitely seems to be, when what you just said earlier makes it like, you know what, this guy could be. He could be the winner we're talking about. I mean, he wins. First of all, if he wins one more Super Bowl, he's the greatest Eagles quarterback ever. 2 Super Bowls?
Yeah, that's different.
Come on. Just that's doing different. That alone.
Yeah, at the same, even close to the same level. Yeah. But they talking about Canton. They talking about Hall of Fame. Like it's his career on Hall of Fame track right now.
If he gets another Super Bowl, if they're gonna say Eli is possible for Hall of Fame, this guy gets another Super Bowl, especially back to back.
Yeah.
And because you go, forget how you feel about the tush push or whatever you want to call it. Doesn't he have like the record for rushing touchdowns for a quarterback? I mean, come on, man, that's got to count for something for Canton. You know what I mean? Like,
so he's on the track, but if his career ended today, no, but he is on track.
Yes, he is on the track.
On track, and I want to be clear when I say yes, I believe he's on the track. I'm not talking about just the trajectory of him keep winning. I'm talking about the trajectory of him getting better as a quarterback year by year. The way he works, the way he approaches the game. So if his level of play continues to elevate and the winning continues, then yes, Hall of Fame type numbers, man. So shout out to Jalen. I hope we get to see you live that out, regardless of whether we do or don't, which I'm hoping we do. You already have, submitted your name in Eagles history as an Eagles legend. That's a fact. We definitely salute to the guy Hurts. Next season, bro, we're gonna give you a little pass. We're gonna chill a little bit. I think everybody, as a media as a whole, we gonna chill on you a little bit. I don't know if that's gonna be true.
No, we're not.
I'm about to say I don't know if it's gonna be true, but we're gonna tell you that now so you can relax. We
want back to back. And honestly, this bull is a Kobe emulator. He don't want us to give him a pass. He don't want us to give him a pass. Do not give him a pass, fans. Do not. Mm-hmm. He does
Look
not
at him
want
with the pass. Jordan cleats, Jordan goggles, smoking a cigar like MJ would do. Jordan brand, you up under that brand, so that brand is greatness, man. We in good hands as Philadelphia Eagles fan. We got one on our hands, man. Salute to Jalen Hurts. Salute to our Philadelphia Eagles. Man, where was you at? What point in the game? Because we didn't get a fans this. At what point in the game did you feel like we were Super Bowl champions? Because it happened at different points in the game for different people. I seen people celebrate in second quarter like it's over. I wasn't one of those people.
For me, it was Devontae Smith touchdown.
The touchdown.
The Devontae Smith touchdown.
When we put the 40 on the board.
I mean, like, I was still nervous because I had to keep looking at the time to see how much time we actually had because but the Devontae Smith touchdown, that was like, okay, it's over. Like that was like the ice.
Yeah. I think that was it for me, honestly, because I'm an Eagles fan that I never lived through all the trauma. I never been there. I never been through the years where we was absolutely trash. I never seen us losing 3 straight NFC championship games. I never seen us give up leads. I never seen it all, man, when it comes to the Eagles trauma. I don't want to say seen it all because what y'all was dealing with in the 80s and the early 90s, I didn't see that in the 70s. But from the mid-90s to current day, I never seen all the trauma. So I wasn't ready to celebrate until he caught that touchdown. But when he caught that touchdown, the DJ put on "Let's Dance." Let's dance to the yellow beat. Let's dance. And we was just up there like that was a feeling right there. That was probably the best feeling because we all knew everybody was in that joint just two-step Super Bowl.
We was all high-fiving where I was at, just like really like this is really happening again.
Happening. If you're an Eagles fan, you're watching at this point in the show, make sure you put a like, a comment, a share on there. But comment, man, when was the point in the Super Bowl to where you felt like, yeah, this is our championship is over, man? That came for different people at different parts of the game, but
Yeah,
they
please.
did go ahead and shut the door. And in the Kansas City Chiefs, there will be no three-peat. There will be no three-peat. Y'all gonna have to go ahead and start that process over. And now we got to start looking ahead to next season, man, because we celebrated the Super Bowl. Actually, before we even get into next season, man, I think the people of Philadelphia, they deserve a salute, man. They salute the celebrating in safety at the same time, man, because we was urging y'all. We was urging y'all to go out there and really, really, have a great time, but do it, have some sense about yourself, after the unfortunate event we had in the NFC Championship game celebration. Yeah. And y'all actually did that, man. Broad Street was crazy. Some of the videos I'm seeing, our fan base, is no one like our fan base, but just peep this time lapse,
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy.
The time lapse of Broad Street,
And that's just man. And it's just like all those people for after winning a Super Bowl. I mean, this parade is going to be, oh my gosh.
And by the way, this episode will be dropping the day of the parade, probably after the parade. But it is Thursday, and the parade is tomorrow. So everybody going to the parade. I ain't even got to tell y'all to have a good time. We're gonna have some footage for y'all. I'm actually should have inserted some footage from the last parade on this episode. Maybe I'll go back and do it post game. But y'all see, Broad Street time lapse. Shout out to everybody out there. I ain't hear about nobody getting ran over. I ain't hear about nobody getting shot. I ain't hear about nobody. I'm sure it was a few people arrested, but that comes with the territory. We ain't even gonna mention that, but I'm sure everybody got out.
We definitely saw people on poles. Definitely saw that.
Y'all not gonna stop climbing the poles. It's not gonna happen. They know that. But shout out to the city for celebrating the right way, and I'm shouting y'all out in advance for celebrating the right way tomorrow, because I know y'all will. But yeah, man, we pretty much putting a button on this 2024 season for your Philadelphia Eagles, your Super Bowl 59 champions, baby. They can't take this from us, baby.
Nah, they really can't. No,
the trophy case. We need a case now. We can't just sit it on top of the table. We need a case.
How about that?
And we've been needed a case. They just ain't want to count our pre-Super Bowl era championships, but we done put in a couple championships. That's 5 total if you really want to be serious about it. But we got 2 Lombardi trophies, and we looking to add to it because we in a new Eagles era, man. So we definitely got to look forward and give a little quick feel for what we expecting for the 2025 Eagles, because we the No Box Sport podcast and we just get down like that. But we got to talk about this because this will affect our team, man. Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator who called the great game plan for the Super Bowl, man, he just accepted a head coaching position for the New Orleans Saints. This is Jalen Hurts. It'll be next year. He'll have his 5th coordinator in 6 years, I believe, man.
Again, another reason to give this guy props. And honestly, maybe that also helps tip him in the favor of being the greatest quarterback, because he's had to deal with so much different stuff. Like that's
not much consistency there.
Yeah, he's the only consistency is him. Everybody, it's just a lot of change around him. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Especially, I think they're talking about the Kevin Patula. I forget what his coaching position is right now, but he's supposed to be the replacement for Kellen Moore, which is in house.
He's in house.
Yeah, he's in house, so that'll be a little better. But again, like you said, it's another coordinator change for Jalen Hurts. Yeah, but this dude, he does what he does, man. He does what he does.
We already talked. You got to believe more than you got to doubt. I know he'll adjust. Yep. My quick thoughts on it. Salute to Kellen Moore. Shout out to you. You didn't drop the game plan. You finished your job to the end. Much success over there in the Saints. Besides when you playing us, how I feel about them promoting in house. I don't know if I like that. I don't. But we'll see. I was hoping they bring somebody new in with a similar philosophy, with maybe just a wrinkle or 2 or 3 that they can add to our offense, because we got to evolve a little bit. I want them to add some layers to it. But I'm not totally mad at it. We just won with him in the house. But Sean Desai was also in house. Brian Johnson was also in house. So that went terrible. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
You know,
Wait, are we trying to have a positive outlook or negative? What are you doing?
I'm just saying, like what I hope they do. I hope they go outside of the crib and just bring something fresh in, like something fresh in with the same philosophy. He can stay on the staff, keep his position he just had.
Yeah.
And, bring somebody else in. But shout out to them. I'm not doubting. I'm believing more than I'm doubting. We're working on that. So yeah, just a quick, tidbit for next season. But let's do it, man. A way too early outlook for the 2025 season for your Philadelphia Eagles. What are we hoping for? What you think we're gonna do? What's your energy rolling over in the next season?
We going back to back.
Back to back. In the club, in the city, going back to back.
Exactly. Just like
going
seriously.
Back to back.
That's the expectation. And that is, honestly, I'm expecting Howie to do some stuff that we ain't even expect and get some players in to fill the holes that we need to fill, Pauls. So it's just like, just like do what you got to do, man. How he's going to do it. That's what he does.
Yeah, I expect a different energy when we roll on the field next year. We started to get that energy this year. Like, we better. Y'all know we is. And we was breaking teams. Now, when we roll on the field, I expect everybody to be hungry. You already got AJ talking about how he in love with the process and he ready to get back to work. And our leaders don't seem to be crashing out, celebrating. They seem to be like, you hear the mic'd up moments, a lot of them saying we ain't done. We're going to do it again. So I just love that energy about this team. I do expect us to be back in this game next year. When I say back to back, I don't know if the trauma in me can say back to back at this point confidently, but I do expect us at least back in the NFC Championship game. It's a lot of stuff that can happen during the course of a football season, but health, if health is on our side again and everything is on our side, I don't see why we ain't at least back in the NFC Championship game, and then, we'll go from there and tap in from there. But it's up for this team, man. It's up for this team. I don't see the bottom falling out. We do got a lot of free agents now. How we got to go ahead and do his thing he always do, but we not doubting that either because we know how we do, how we just deliver, how we make smart moves. Quick little overview. We got Zach Bond, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, Brandon Graham, Mekhi Beckham, Fred Johnson, Avonte Maddox, Rick Lavoto, Kenneth Gainwell, Auren Burks, Usman Zada, Jack Driscoll, Nick Gates, and LaRaven Clark. Those are all our free agents. So we'll see how it goes. We'll keep y'all updated throughout the whole off season. We got to turn our attention now to our basketball.
Bring back Zach.
Bring back Zach. Bring back Zach. You know what I mean? That's a must. And bring back my guy.
I don't know, man. If I can get Myles Garrett, if you can figure out how to get Myles Garrett, I'm just saying, upgrade you.
That's the only scenario. That's the only scenario to where I'd be like, all right, go ahead, do your thing, Howie. Go ahead.
Hey, and Howie we trust. If he can do that, come on now. He's done crazy stuff.
How he came up out the basement like, what? I'm back. How he came up out the basement with some vicious stuff. So, and how we trust, how we will continue to trust. That's our outlook for the 2025 season. But no need to worry. We'll be here giving you the report, just like the newscast, to let you know when this flurries. And yeah, I try to rhyme all the time. And hopefully you get to celebrate and don't get into no crime tomorrow at the parade, man. So yeah, man, we the Super Bowl champions, man. That's been episode 20. It's been plenty of cheers and smiles. And this has been the No Box Sports Podcast, brought to you by No Box Entertainment. And I've been one of your hosts, Uncle Doug.
And I'm the original CP3.
The original, and you better not ever forget it. And we gotta give them the Eagles chant for the road on 3, my guy. 1, 2, 3. Eagles! Oh man, we Super Bowl champions, baby. Play the song.
Woo! Tell him how you feel. Tell him what kind of hell you've been catching, and let him know that if he's not ready to clean his house up.
Ring me, baby.
If he's not ready to clean his house up, he shouldn't